friends, welcome or welcome back to the Blue Butterfly Tarot. Today we're looking specifically into a no contact and or separation situation. What are their current realizations? And I've got two piles for you. This is pile number one, this is pile number two. Pile number one is the Mid-Centurion Tarot. And, whoops, pile number two is the Prisma Visions Tarot. Take your time, see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to. I do want to say this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If one pile's messages don't resonate, then choose the other. If both piles' messages don't resonate, then it just means that maybe there aren't any messages for you in this video today. But I do hope that at least one of the piles' messages do resonate. Please be careful of scammers. I would never reach out to you asking you to follow or subscribe or book a private reading. So just please be a little bit careful about that. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. I'm going to give you a few seconds now to see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to, and then I shall begin. Hi pile one, for those of you who chose the Mid-Centurion Tarot, this is going to be your reading, alright? Before we get into the reading, let's just take some time to realign our energies. So close your eyes, think of your person, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Alright, pile one. Specifically for no contact and or separation situation, what are your person's current realizations? Okay. What are this person's current realizations? Okay. With the Eight of Pentacles, we have the King of Wands. We have Justice, we have the Queen of Wands, we have Death, we have the Page of Cups, and we have the Four of Cups. Okay. I also have your Oracle cards, so we're going to get into that. Okay, we have Never Ending Story with 37. We have Universal Oneness, 30. We have Spider Grandmother, 37, Wisdom, Rejection, Flow. Okay, this is telling me a story, by the way. I think that both of you have tried many times to make this work with Never Ending Story. I think that both of you have been repeating the same cycles over and over again. And the reason for that is, even though there might have been growth in the two of you when there were pauses in the cycle, I think that applying that growth into your connection might have been the gap. And that's why there have been repeated cycles on both ends. Your person's trying to understand why, regardless of how much time passes, both of you are always in the same cycle. And they're realizing that maybe the problem is how both of you have been approaching this connection. I would not be surprised if your person has turned to spirituality a little bit, with Wisdom coming up and the King of Wands coming up. I feel that maybe your person has sought some spiritual guidance, either, for some of you I'm hearing ancestral line. I'm also hearing their spirit guides or even their higher self. They might have asked for some help, and they might be getting some intuitive hits about what has been going wrong and why both of you have not been able to come out of this on and off cycle. There's definitely no contact between the two of you. I think that both of you right now don't want to engage with this connection. With rejection coming out, I think that both of you are really exhausted, emotionally exhausted, as well as mentally exhausted with how things have been between the two of you. And I think that both of you might be in the energy where you know that if both of you come together, then it's just going to be the same thing again, and both of you don't want to put yourselves through that, even though there are happy moments, even though sometimes things do, some aspects of the connection do make you happy. I think overall, if you take a look at it, the pain that exists in the connection is just much, much more than the joy that both of you feel. I did not notice that the king and the queen had come out together up until this moment. And I feel that is also indicative of your person. Like, it's kind of like the answers were there all along, but both of you might not have been able to see it. And it's interesting that I'm tapping so much into your energy, because I was supposed to tap into your person's energy, but both of your energies are coming through. So maybe there has been a lot of conversations about this, about where you are at, where your person is at, so much so that your person knows exactly what is happening with you. But at the same time, they're trying to understand why both of you have just not been able to come out of this cycle. And the more that they're asking these questions, the more that they're seeking spiritual guidance, the more the answers are coming through, that even though there has been work on your individual selves during the off cycles, you're not exactly putting it into effect through the connection. Like, you're still reverting back every time the problems come up. You're not showing up as an evolved version of yourself. You're kind of regressing back to who you were in the previous cycle or when things started out. So even though you're working, you're not putting those into effect. It's kind of like you're studying, but you're not applying that into the situations that both of you are in. And that's why there's this constant cycle that both of you are not able to get out. And your person's understanding that, okay, well, if I apply those lessons, then I will be able to change the cycle. Maybe not 100% change it, but at least shift the outcome a little bit. And this might not be, like, the way that I'm saying it to you is a lot more structured. It's a lot more clear, but in their mind, it could be going as, oh, I should have done that, or oh, I should have said that, or this saying this would have been better. That those are the kinds of thoughts that are coming through your person. So it's not that both of you are not doing the work. It's just that the work that you're doing is not translating into both of you showing up in this connection. And I think that both of you trigger each other so much that you forget the lessons that you've learned, and then you go back to how you were when this connection started out. So every time both of you are in those moments, it might be helpful for both of you to calm down and respond to each other rather than reacting to the situation. It also might be helpful to remember that both of you do have a lot of love for each other. Both of you are wanting this connection to flow and to go forward, but I also think that it is difficult. It's not easy, and I completely understand that. But now that you know it as well, like what's actually going on between the two of you with the spider grandmother, I think that you too will be able to change the way that you have been showing up. And I would not even say change. I think it was just implementing the lessons that you've learned, maybe the techniques that you've learned on managing your frustration or improving your communication skills. Just implementing that when you are in that moment of fire, I guess I would say. Because yes, I completely understand. Like, I'm not calling you out. I'm not calling your person out, because the energy coming through it's understandable. Sometimes you learn these, you read self-help books, you listen to YouTube videos, and you logically know how to show up, but you're learning it in an environment where you are calm and you are peaceful at that moment, right? However, when you're triggered, implementing those lessons, it will get a bit hard. It takes practice, but it also takes intentional effort, to just stop those few seconds and then implement those lessons. It's really hard. I'm not calling you out, or I'm not saying that, you've been doing it wrong. No, I've done it too so many times. All right. And I probably still continue to, because with each new circumstance that comes out, what you learn, in a very calm environment, right? And when you have to implement it in that zone of panic or chaos or frustration, so on and so forth, that high intensity environment, it's different and it's difficult, right? But it takes time and it takes practice and it takes patience as well to implement those lessons. It's step by step, right? So the message coming through is actually for both of you, not just for your person, but I think that your person is realizing it as well. I think that there is actually a lot of spiritual guidance coming through where your person, whatever lessons that they've learned, it's kind of like they're integrating it mentally, and they're kind of understanding that, oh, okay, well, this was wrong. I should not have behaved that way. That was misaligned. Okay, well, I should behave this way, or I should have said this, or that didn't feel right. No. Now that I have clarity, now that I've taken a step back, this is how it should have been. And that's actually a lot of their help coming through, all right? So it might feel like intuitive hits coming from your person, but it's actually, they've been taking a lot of help from like a lot of spiritual guidance, I guess I would say. So that's what both of you are learning right now at this point, and that is also what their current realizations are. It's like how to show up in this connection using the lessons that they've learned in the time that both of you have been apart. How do you actually put it into use so that it helps the two of you? Like, you have that wisdom, but how do you apply it to the situation that you're in? That's also important, right? So that's what your person is learning right now, and I would not be surprised if you too are learning. Overall, there's like a very deep sense of regret. I think that there's a lot of guilt coming through, just because, you know, like I told you, the intuitive hits are like, okay, I should not have done that, or I should have said this, that was not right, something felt wrong about that, I should have done this. So there's a lot of that regret also coming through as your person is realizing what they should or should not have done. But that's also them kind of transmuting the lessons that they had once learned and how to apply it into their, I guess, real life situations. All right, I guess high intensity, I felt like being corrected about that. So I think you are too as well. But the goal on your person's mind is to get out of this cycle where both of you have been hurting each other. That is important to them, and I think that that is also important to you. Like I said, I'm getting dual energy, so I think that your person is very well aware that you two want this connection to work. You two have been struggling on your end to kind of find a way out of this cycle. So I'm hopeful that this will help both of you. All right. Two of Cups, yes. Your person knows you love them, and I think that you also know that you love them and they love you. And I think that there is a lot of love, but at the same time, I think that both of you might have been struggling lately to embody that love or to remind yourselves of that love as you are in this difficult phase. And I think one reminder coming through is that there is a lot of love between the two of you, right? And I think that both of you are, I would not be surprised, yeah, like even as I was tapping into it, I would not be surprised if this is some kind of a soulmate connection. I would not be surprised because the energy seems to be intense and both of you seem to be triggering each other. Like even though there are lessons being learned, right? You're in that moment of intensity, you're kind of like forgetting the lessons or you're not able to transmute. And putting the lessons into action itself is a lesson for these kinds of soulmate connections. So I would not be surprised if, like, I'm not surprised that the Two of Cups actually came up. So this could be a high intensity connection, which is also probably why both of you need to give each other some leeway, all right, about this situation and about what you're dealing with. It's, you know, I feel like I'm hearing someone berating themselves, like, why is it so difficult for me to just show up in that way? But when it comes to high intensity connections like that, it's difficult. That by itself is a process because there's a lot of emotionally charged situations. So it's not that there's something wrong with you or that you're weak or that you're I don't know, not learning it correctly. No, absolutely not. It's just the intensity that tends to throw everyone off, not just you. All right, so it's not just you. Don't hold it against yourself. Don't hold it against your person as well. And learning how to use those lessons and put it into when both of you are being triggered, that's part of the process. That's part of the learning curve. So you're just in that next stage. That's pretty much it. You're just stepping into the next stage where you're learning how to do that. So don't be too hard on yourselves, all right? Both of you. Okay, pile one. This is where I will leave you for today. I really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you were looking for. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. But if this is where you'd like to leave me, then I just want to say thank you so much for all your love and positive energy, whether it's like, share, subscribe, comments, the tips to send, and watching my page ads. Those are the ways that fuel your love and positive energy, and I'm really, really grateful for it. Pile 1, take care, trust your intuition, you always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye. Hi, Pile 2. For those of you who chose the Prisma Visions Tarot, this is going to be your reading, alright? Before we get into the reading, let's take some time to realign our energies. So close your eyes, think of your person, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Alrighty, Pile 2, specifically for no contact and or separation situation, what are your person's current realizations? Okay, we have the Five of Swords, the Queen of Wands, the Star, the Five of Chalices, okay. We have the Three of Pentacles, we have the Seven of Swords, we have the Ten of Chalices, okay. I also have your Oracle cards, so we're gonna get into that as well. Happy, happy. Transcend attachments. Yes, I was getting that. I do. 6060, compassion, fear, and believe in your own potential. Yes, I am getting a lot of hopeful energy from your person. It's kind of like a lot of hope that maybe things can work out between the two of you. This could be no contact, but I am also sensing that for some of you, maybe this is on the verge of reconciliation, like both of you could be considering it, and your person is actually very, very hopeful, which is quite unlike them, by the way. And I think you also would have been surprised when I said that your person's being very hopeful right now, because I think that for quite some time, the energy within them has been very defeated, you know, kind of like life is always constantly against me. For the first time in a very, very long time for this person, they're starting to feel like, yes, this is something that can happen, or yes, I can do this, believe in your own potential over there coming through. They're starting to trust themselves. They're starting to trust life. They're starting to trust the universe, higher power, whichever they believe in. But they're starting to trust that things can go good in their life. I think that after a breakdown in your person's life, I think that they're slowly starting to have good things in their life, or they're starting to recognize good things in their life, not just this connection, but in other aspects of their life. I think that there's a layer of relief that's coming through. So I would not be surprised if your person had like a major tower moment where they had to release every single attachment to things that were no longer serving them. And during that phase, which seems to be quite a period of time, your person might have felt that life was constantly working against them, but it was actually life working for them. It was actually the universe, you know, bringing things in alignment for your person, things that was actually serving them. And for that, it needed to kind of help your person let go of attachments to things that were not serving them. And I think that off late, things have been looking up for your person's life, like in not just this connection, I think in other aspects of their life. And because of that, your person's starting to believe that joy can step into their life, and they're extending that thought process to you. Your person's in very, very positive energy right now, and the reason for that is other aspects of their life have shown them that whatever they went through, there was a reason for it, and the reason was because it was to align your person. Like the amount of joy that your person has unlocked right now in other aspects of their life, it's actually quite beautiful for me to experience as a reader. And they're starting to feel lighter within themselves. This, for example, all right, this is just coming through for me. Like, for example, this person may have been working at a job for about 10 years, and overnight this person got fired from that job. And I think even at the job, it was like a very toxic environment. There were people constantly berating them. They were just not happy in that. And then all of a sudden one night, like despite all the effort that they put into the company, they were just fired overnight. And now your person was just left not knowing what to do or where to be and how to go. And this person might have struggled for a few months trying to find a job. And I think that they might have had to face a lot of rejections in that period of time. And finally, one job clicked. And it's at a workplace where everything's just, you know, it's a good job, it's paying well, the people around them, you know, they're good, they're healthy for your person, it's a very healthy work environment. And suddenly it feels like your person has a place somewhere, you know, and it's kind of like, okay, that breakdown had to happen so that I could find this job that is completely meant for me, this job that actually gives me good work-life balance, that actually makes me happy, that I feel joyous to come to work every single day, that's given me connections that I can actually be around and feel good around. So it's kind of like that kind of situation where that entire phase, your person might have been very, very dejected about themselves and, you know, kind of wondering, why is this happening to them? But now everything's making sense. Like every single breakdown that happened to your person, it's making sense. And it is through that making sense that your person's able to let go of the fear that they once had, that everything's just always working against them, and not being able to take leaps of faith because they thought, okay, well, if I take a leap of faith, nothing ever works out for me. Why do I even want to do it? And then just not doing it at all. So I think that the universe is teaching your person that even if there was a breakdown in your person's life, it was to bring your person to a point of extreme happiness and content. And it was always meant to align that way. And your person's starting to have hope that this connection too will align with them. Of course, there's a very grounded approach to this connection, to their thought process about this connection. Like they want to work things out with you. They want to slowly build with you, but there's hope. That's the current realization that they have. They're no longer in, okay, well, I want to give this a try, but you know, it's never going to work out. Nothing ever works for me. You know, even if you give it a try in that energy, yeah, you're working against yourself. You're building that resistance within yourself. However, if you want to work on things, but the energy within you is aligned, as in you're hopeful, you can be cautiously optimistic, absolutely, but there's hope there. That hope is what fuels things to move forward, right? And that is what your person is realizing right now. So previously, I think that your person, even if they wanted to work things out, the energy that they were in was misaligned, which is probably why things didn't work out between the two of you. However, the energy is shifting now. Your person has experienced joy in their life. They have experienced things working out for them, which is why it's kind of like they feel this will work out too. And that by itself is very, very powerful. It's a big shift in your person. And they're trusting that the universe brings them, or like whatever it is, like through the process, the universe does bring them what makes them truly happy on the inside. And this connection is that for them. But the energy that they were approaching this connection was very misaligned before. But now it's coming from a place of lightness. It's coming from a place of hope. And I think that that's very, very beautiful. I think that it shows how much your person has healed. It also shows how hard of a phase that they had to go through. But that much was the return of the energy back to them. And they're trusting. They're just trusting that this is going to lead to something that makes them very happy, right? Beautiful energies there. Just as a reader, I want to say this is very healthy energies, and I think it's just very heartwarming as well, right? Like, especially when someone's been through a really tough phase in their life and they struggle to have hope. They struggle to, you know, wonder why this is happening to them, and then they step out of it. It's kind of like a breath of fresh air. And I just took a deep breath as well. And I feel that energy, you know, that calmness in your heart where, you know, okay, well, everything that happened actually happened for good. And I just need to trust, you know, I need to trust that even if things are breaking down, they're actually aligning for me. So that layer of trust is coming through very, very strongly with your person. And that by itself is powerful energies, right? Any advice or a little bit of a wait for this person to come forward, all right? Give them the space, give them the time, they'll come. Don't worry about it, all right? I think that they are planning to with the Three of Wands. They are planning to. It might take a little bit of time. I think they need to see, because we are still in healing energies right now, right? So give them some time, they'll come, all right? They're getting there. I think it's very close. I would not say too long. The energy feels very, very, very quick for me, all right? So I think that you will be able to sense your person coming in. Would not be surprised if you've been feeling their energy as well. because their energy feels a lot lighter. I think you can also sense that difference in their energy. It feels very light, but I have also been able to tap into the energy, the heaviness that they went through. It's like a complete 180 shift. So I think that you also will be able to sense, and I think that you can sense that something's shifting in the energy of your connection, and that's only because your person's energy has shifted. So trust what you're feeling. Might be a little bit of a wait, but this person's coming in, all right? And they're coming in with very healthy energies. How to? This is where I will leave you for today. I really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you were looking for. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. But if this is where you'd like to leave me, then I just want to say thank you so much for all your love and positive energy, whether it's with a like, share, subscribe, comments, the tipsters, and watching my page ads. Those are the ways that I feel your love and positive energy, and I'm really, really grateful for it. How to? Take care, trust your intuition. You always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye.